Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how even Prahasta was killed in the hands of Neela. With his most important minister and a very important Senapati gone, he has also already lost a number of generals by now. He has lost Dhumraksha, he has lost Vajradamstra, he has lost Akampana, now he has lost Prahasta also. Now Ravana was extremely angry and then he calls for a meeting of all his ministers and he says, let's get started. We all will go for an attack. I will lead the attack myself. We'll have to avenge this. Now the war has come to a situation where we can't ignore our enemy's strength anymore. Saying this, he gets all his generals to be ready. The huge army starts from Lanka. As the Vanaras and Sri Ramachandra, all these are on a vantage position, right? They are able to see what is happening in Lanka, right? So as they are seeing this huge army coming out, Sri Ramachandra quickly looks at Vibhishana and says, "Hey Vibhishana, please tell me as to who is who in this vast army that is marching towards us." So Vibhishana then identifies Atikaya, Indrajit. There is another Akampana. He is also called as Presirabaho, I think. He identifies Narantaka, Devantaka, Kumbha. He identifies all these warriors and he says he is this. These are all Ravana's generals. Each of these can do this much damage and all. As Ravana comes near the northern gate, he quickly orders all his army to stay back and he alone now moves ahead. He says, if all the army and all of you, all the warriors come out, it will become a huge problem. I'll go along with the army. You, along with your individual battalions, you stay near the gates and guard the gates so that the Vanaras would not enter the city once we all have left the city. I don't want the Vanaras to come back and enter the city and do any damage here. So all of you guys stay back. I will go ahead and lead the war and I'll see what can be done. In fact, Ravana says, you guys would see what I'll do to this army. Look at how I'm going to deal with them. And saying this, he leaves all his important Senapatis. He leaves Indrajit also and he comes alone into the battlefield along with his army. The entire core king's army that's coming in now. And Ravana now starts making short work of all the Vanaras. He starts killing Vanaras left, right, center. This is when Sugriva goes to save his army. He goes for a one-on-one fight with Ravana. He takes a huge Parvata Shikhara and starts fighting with him. Sugriva would be able to engage Ravana for some time, but very soon Sugriva would be on the losing side and the arrows of Ravana hurt him so much that he falls on the ground. Immediately to save their king, the important Vanara commanders like Gavaya, Gavaksha, Mainda, Dvivida, all of them go and they launch a complete attack on Ravana. In the meantime, Sugriva is brought to safety by the other Vanara Veeras. Again, Ravana makes short work of all of them. The speed with which he was fighting, the Vanara commanders were not able to match it. Seeing that the commanders are actually failing, but still they are putting up a brave fight, but the defeat is near for them. Hanuman quickly enters the scene. He goes very close to Ravana and he challenges Ravana for a duel and he says, "Oh Ravana, hope you have forgotten the Varadana that you have got. You might be great, you might have a lot of boons that are protecting you, but remember, you can't win over Vanaras and Naras and I am a Vanara here. If you dare you fight me." Then Ravana quickly picks up his fist and says, "If I hit you with this, you will not be seen anywhere." Then Hanuman says, "Bring it on, then you will also see how powerful my fist is." And then Ravana hits him. Hanuman actually loses his balance for a moment. His head would go turning, but then he quickly comes back and he hits Ravana with all his force, and that force makes Ravana bring out some blood. And Ravana says, "Wow, I wanted to fight like a man like you." Hanuman even reminds him that it was he who killed Akshakumara. Now again Ravana hits him, again Hanuman hits. So it goes on for a while and then the next time when Ravana hits, Hanuman now is taking more time to even come back to normalcy. Sensing this, Neela, the commander-in-chief of Vanaras, he quickly goes and he starts a wonderful fight with Ravana. The fight is so wonderful with Ravana that he forces Ravana to bring out his divine weapons to deal with him. Every arrow of Ravana, Neela keeps escaping. He doesn't challenge for a hand-to-hand fight with Ravana, but he is throwing rocks. He's bringing in huge boulders. When Ravana is using his arrows, he's becoming small and he's escaping. So this way, Neela keeps engaging with Ravana for some time. That gives Hanuman the time to come back. Hanuman shouts out to Ravana saying that how can you leave this duel in the middle and go away to another fighter? Ravana just disregards it because he's busy with Neela. And now Ravana, after some time, he gets frustrated. He brings out his Agneya Astra. quickly Neela jumps onto the top of Ravana's chariot, and he becomes so small, and he holds the flag. But then Ravana quickly uses Agneya Astra on Neela, and Neela, after being hit by that Astra, he falls down. But since he himself has come out of the fire god, he himself has an Amsha of the fire god, Neela falls on the ground, but he comes onto his knees, but he doesn't lose his consciousness, or he doesn't completely fall down. Looking at this entire fight that is happening, Sri Ramachandra says that he should be entering the fight now to stop Ravana from doing further damage. At this time, Lakshmana intervenes and he says, "Oh brother, as long as I am there, why do you want to go and fight this Ravana? I shall go and I shall face this enormous demon." Saying that, Lakshmana quickly bows down to Sri Ramachandra and says, "Please give me the orders, I'll go and take care of him." Sri Ramachandra says, "Look at the speed with which he is leaving the arrows. Use your eyes and your bow very, very carefully. You understand the deficits of Ravana. Also, you understand the deficits of you, because he would be trying to attack the shortcomings of you, and you should be attacking the shortcomings of him. So be very careful while dealing with him. He's extremely skilled warrior. So take your time to understand him, but then give him back nicely." Then Lakshmana goes into the war. Lakshmana would enter the war. By that time, again, this Neela and Swami Hanuman are engaging Ravana. Then he says, "Why are you fighting the Vanaras? Why are you killing innocent people? Oh Ravana, you have the celestial weapons with you. I also have those celestial weapons. Come, let us fight." Then Ravana looks at Lakshmana, and they both start the fight. Ravana uses some very nice arrows on Lakshmana. Lakshmana keeps breaking all of them with a smile. And then Ravana uses all different types of arrows. He stuns Lakshmana a number of times. Lakshmana also stuns him back. Ravana is now shocked that Lakshmana is fighting at that level. They both use arrow to arrow. They match Astra to Astra. Lakshmana would be nullifying almost every Astra that Ravana is using on him. At this particular point of time, Ravana takes out his Shakti, which was given to him, and that Shakti he takes and he uses it on Lakshmana. The Shakti comes, it hits Lakshmana, it goes through the body, it comes out of the body, and it goes back to its place on Ravana's Ratha. Now Lakshmana is on the ground. Looking at this, Ravana quickly disembarks his chariot. He walks towards Lakshmana and he tries to lift him. Some of the great Darshanikas of Ramayana, they call him as Anantanag or Seshnag, right? So Ravana is not able to lift Lakshmana. As such, Lakshmana is the Vishnu Amsa himself. In Valmiki Ramayana, it is told that Vishnu himself took all the 4 bodies. So Lakshmana also has an Amsha of Vishnu in himself. Lakshmana becomes very, very heavy. Ravana tries very hard to take him from there. It doesn't work out. And as he is trying very hard to lift Lakshmana, Swami Hanuman comes over there, and looking at Lakshmana's plight, Swami Hanuman is so angry that he hits Ravana with one hand. The shot of Hanuman was so powerful that Ravana was having blood coming out of his mouth. He is stunned, he falls down, he loses consciousness for some time, and that's the gap that Swami Hanuman is waiting for, and he quickly takes Lakshmana to safety near Sri Ramachandra. Lakshmana, by this time, he is also out of that trouble because Shakti has left him and it has gone back to Ravana's chariot. Lakshmana quickly comes back to his senses, but then it would take him a few minutes before he can again get ready to fight. At this point of time, Swami Hanuman looks at Sri Ramachandra and says, "Oh Sri Ramachandra, what are you waiting for? Why are you waiting for? Now please, you come on me, you sit on me, and you face this Rakshasa, and you just finish this thing off today, because this Rakshasa is really hurting all the Vanara Veeras." Then Sri Ramachandra mounts on Hanuman and he goes towards Ravana. I forgot to tell you one important thing. When Ravana was coming out of Lanka, right, Sri Ramachandra looks at him, then he again compliments Ravana. He tells to Vibhishana, "Oh, this man has got a lot of tejas in him, a lot of aura is coming out of him. He's a great tapasvi. But yeah, for some reason his brain has gone in the wrong direction." But that was Rama's initial comment when he sees Ravana for the first time when he's coming for the fight. Now we'll come back where Swami Hanuman has offered to be the chariot, come charioteer, come everything, the Vahana for Sri Ramachandra. So Sri Ramachandra is seated on the bahus of Swami Hanuman, and he goes and he approaches Ravana. And he says, "Oh Ravana, why are you fighting everyone else? Come, let us have a fight." And then Sri Ramachandra shows what he is to Ravana. Even he doesn't even use celestial weapons here. He is using normal weapons, and with that, he's making short work of Ravana's every arrow. Ravana is stunned at the speed with which Sri Ramachandra is leaving the arrows. Nobody is able to see when Sri Ramchandra is removing the arrow, when he is loading it on the bow, and when he is releasing it. The speed with which Sri Ramchandra was releasing arrows, some arrows go and hit Ravanasura on his Vakshasthala, on his chest. Some arrows go and hit him on the forehead. And one of the arrows of Sri Ramchandra removes all the crowns from all the 10 heads. Ravana is like overwhelmed. He just does not know what to do. He's confused. He's getting puzzled with the speed and the dexterity with which Sri Ramchandra is using arrows at him. And finally, he is tired. He is not able to answer. At this particular point of time, Sri Ramchandra says, "Oh Ravana, it looks like you are tired. You have fought a lot of warriors today. You can almost understand that it's evening now. Oh Ravana, now go back, take some rest, and come back tomorrow. Again, tomorrow we shall have the fight. You are very, very weak now. I really don't want to send you to Yamapuri today because I don't want to kill a man who is very, very tired. Come back tomorrow. Then let us see who can prevail on whom." Listening to this, Ravana feels insulted, but he's also very, very tired. So he goes back into Lankanagara. What does he do after going back to Lankanagara? That's something that we'll be seeing in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, sarvam sukhhi sasvam charana arvinda arpanamastu, swasti, Jai Shri Ram.